curious, what this all separates, we'll hear all the speeches, but people have to figure out if they feel better than they did 4 years ago. And you've seen the polling numbers. About 2/3 of the public says they either feel the same or worse. How does the president convince them, whether over the next 3 days or the next 60 plus days, that things actually are better than they were 4 years ago?
Well, I think the question is going to be, where does the economy go from here? We know what trouble it was in 4 years ago. People want to hear at this convention, they want to hear jobs. They want to hear programs. They want to hear how we're going to get America back to work. I mean, let's face it, the Federal Reserve hasn't done its job. You know, part of their job is to help build employment. They're not doing it. So the president's really been on his own. Now, we need to unite our country to put 10 million Americans back to work. We've got to do that. And to do that, we need the help not only of the public sector, but the private sector as well. And so our nation is really divided right now, and it's not good for our country to be divided, because it means that the things that we need the most in America, jobs, number one, we're not getting them because of this division. We've got to come together as a nation.
So if the president pulled you aside and said, Congressman, I'm getting conflicting advice. Some say only look forward, don't look back. Others say acknowledge the mistruths, non-truths out of Tampa. He's getting competing advice as to, in a narrow election with so few undecideds, how to actually push them over.
Go out there and tell the American people that you're going to create 10 million jobs in your next term.
And be specific, you think?
And be specific. Listen, we have over $3 trillion of infrastructure needs that haven't been met. The private sector isn't investing in infrastructure. Who's going to do it? The public sector has to, and the president can still rally the country, create the jobs, put America back to work. This is what FDR did. Now, he may have done it in 32, but the truth of the matter is, President Obama has a chance to do it in 2012.
You know, some argue that FDR actually had a benefit because when he came into office, the public saw firsthand what a real depression looked like, and they blamed his predecessor for it. When Obama came in, they didn't really feel the full effects until into his first year. Is the challenge partly of his own doing in that he set unrealistic expectations given the realities of Washington and obviously an economy that was just beginning to find its footing?
The presidency is a bully pulpit. When a president rallies the American people, that president has the ability to move Congress. And I mean it takes a willingness to really be in a battle in Congress. I think the president made every effort to cooperate, and the effort and the energy was focused on trying to get Congress going. The American people will move the Congress, because either Congress responds to the needs of the American people and works with a president who wants to create jobs, or we get rid of the Congress, period.
You've heard some of the tone about what we expect to hear from the president in a couple of days, and also for the balance of the term. He's talking about literally having a constitutional amendment to get rid of Citizens United. He's talking about daring Congress to try and actually, have another debt debacle like we had before. Do you like that tone from the president, or do you think it's going to backfire on him?
We don't have to wait till after the election to do that, by the way. We have enough Democrats right now, if you get a few Republicans, to force a vote on a constitutional amendment that would outlaw all private spending. This is my bill. I know about it. It's H.J. Res 100. So we need to do some things between now and the election, not just looking back. We're in play right now. This is when we have to be fighting in Congress, saying, let's not only move forward with jobs programs, but also let's do something about this obscene situation where our government's become an auction, where everything goes to the highest bidder. This is wrong. This is not a democracy anymore. We're moving towards a plutocracy where it's just ruled by corporations and money. And so we have to save our country. It's that serious. We have to talk about saving America. We have to get private money out of it. You know, the reports today, the Republicans will have raised $100 million in August, just in 1 month. What does that mean about America? Where are we going as a country if these interest groups can just buy an election? So this has great implication. Let's do something now. When Congress returns, let's move forward with a bill for public financing only. When Congress returns, let's move forward with a bill to put America back to work. Let's do something now. Let's not wait till after the election.
Your state is one of those battleground states, and as Ohio goes, so goes the election, they say. for that middle-class white male voter out there that is breaking for Romney, other, obviously, constituencies are going for the president. Is there anything the president could say, anything out of this convention that could have somebody maybe rethink the position and vote for the president like they might have 4 years ago?
I think what needs to be said is this. Look, I'm a white middle-class male. I don't really identify myself in everyday life like that. For the purpose of this interview, you just described a group, okay? I happen to be a member of that group. I say, let's bring America home. Stop sending our troops all over the world. Take care of things here at home. The president can still say that. I say, let's focus on rebuilding the American economy. These trade laws have worked against us. We have all these industries going out. Why are males concerned about that? Because they're concerned about what kind of jobs they have. If they work in a factory right now, granted, there are women who are doing the same work, but we have to make sure that there's jobs for men so that they can provide for their families, just as women are doing. And there's a tough economy right now. The people who are afraid the most are the people who, in the past, have felt that they were the breadwinners. They were, putting the bread on the table. They were responsible. In most families, you have two breadwinners now. But what happens is, when the husband's out of work, that's a tough thing on a family. That might mean that a house can be lost. And if he's the only worker, that means everything could be lost. So there's more pressure on women today, and we've got to close ranks as a country and get America back to work. That's what the president ought to be saying. And when the president says that, he'll get that vote. He'll get it when he's emphatic about it. He'll get it, and he has time to do that. This thing is not over by any means.
What's your gut? If you're a betting man, what do you think happens in November?
Jump ball.
Really?
Yeah. Real close. Every vote's going to count. In Ohio, it's going to be close. And, I think that it's really going to depend on turnout. It's going to depend on people knowing where their interests really are.
In the Senate, I think that goes in Republican.
I think it'll be close. I think this is one of those elections where everything's at stake. And every vote matters. That's why I'm here. Do I agree with the president on everything? Come on, not a chance. But there's much more at stake than the personal feelings any of us have on these range of issues. There's a bigger picture of who we are as a nation, where our country's going, what the potential of America is, and recognizing that we're in a dangerous moment right now, where extraordinary amounts of money are being spent on war, have been given away on tax cuts, have been lost in trade deals that have worked against us. We've got to recover all that.